Oh yeah, Grenada, Carriacou, Pity Monica, and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program, people. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. So brace yourself. We have a lot of things to tell you about tonight. It's Friday. We want to keep it action-packed. Yes? For those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to all your... So the thing give me some problems, boy. Wow! And I said I ain't doing no more mango for the rest of the year. I swear. Ripe or green, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Anyway, folks, here's what's making the headlines for tonight. Now, we'll tell you about the Grenadians who's making headways when it comes to cricket or female cricketers. Yes? A charge of causing death by dangerous driving laid against a police constable. We'll tell you about that. Also, Grenada continues to receive below average rainfall. We got a bulletin from the Met Office today, and we will talk to you about what they are finding and what the predictions are. All right. Gladstone Road man claims he was picked up on mistaken identity. We'll feature that in the paper's segment. St. Patrick's businessman slapped with drug and gun-related charges, and also 3 St. Andrew residents on drug charge. Is chemical castration a viable option for pedophiles? And that's something that we told you about happening in Trinidad. And folks, we have a lot more things to tell you about tonight. So get comfortable. Get your Coke and your popcorn or your water or whatever it is you plan on having tonight to make you a little more comfortable as we get ready to discuss tonight's topic. For those of you who have not yet done so, I'd like to encourage you to share the program. You see, when you share the program, that is how other people get to view what's happening here. So if you're on Facebook right now, I want to encourage you to share the business. Welcome to one and all. This is Mikey Live. We will be back shortly with real news in audio Lili Lolo. So stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada for the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. And you come. Flip the rum, bring the girls. They can't. Get in your section, get in your direction. Get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
Okay, folks, so welcome, and we are ready to go. Now, the first thing that we have to tell all you about, boys, NADMA. The National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, extends heartfelt gratitude to everyone who participated in the annual Caribou Wave Exercise 2019 on Thursday, 14th March. According to them, participants, stakeholders, evaluators, volunteers, NADMA staff, both on mainland and on the sister isle of Carriacou. Now, they say that they want to say special thanks to you, the management and staff of the Grenada Tourism Authority, and as well Saul Isi, for your participation and everything else that you would have done. All right. They also had something that happened outside of the exercise area in Grand Mall. All right, in collaboration with Saul. So NADMA also wanted to say thanks for that. According to them, the exercise was successfully conducted, now giving them an opportunity to assess the protocol created and make the necessary changes as required. Earlier, you know of our very own Afi Fletcher. Yes, and this is in the good segment, boy. Now, Afi Fletcher is one of our female cricketers who has been really doing really well for herself, her family, her teammates, and all. All right, you see on your screen there, Afi, right to the the closest to the logo there. That's Afi Fletcher. And here's what: she has been selected to captain the Windward Islands women's cricket team. She's right off your screen. All give her a clap. Give her a round of applause. I'll put some love on the program. West Indies women's player, Afi Fletcher. She has been selected to captain the Windward Islands senior women's team for the Cricket West Indies Regional Super 50 and the 2020 tournaments. Now, assisting Afi Fletcher to lead the team is Vice Captain Akira Peters. Now, 6 Grenadian women were selected for the team. They are as follows: Afi Fletcher, the captain; Akira Peters, the vice captain; Aria Fortune; Karina Noel; Rachel Cyrus; Lydia Edgar, she's a team manager. All give them a round of applause, no man. That we people, 6 of them, you know. Yeah? Now, championships will be held in Guyana, March 17 to April 3rd. The Cricket West Indies Women's Championship is comprised of 2 tournaments. West Indies Women's Super 50 Cup, which is going to run from March 17 to the 25th, and West Indies Women's T20 Blaze, that's going to run from March 28th to April 3rd. Now, the full squad reads Afi Fletcher, captain; Akira Peters, vice captain; Aria Fortune; Karina Noel. Like the whole team is Grenadians, you know. Rachel Cyrus, Stacey and Adams, Cordell Jack, Juliana Nero, Glendon Turtin, also Kimone Homer, Swelin Williams, Kiana Joseph, Nerissa Crofton, and Pearl Etienne, also Jasmine St. Angie, and she's a reserve. And there's also Shantan Charles and Ronette Sanford, and Taylor Dixon. Those are the reserves. Now, Shantan Charles and Taylor Dixon are also Grenadians. So it's like the whole team are Grenadians. All right, so we want to say congratulations to all of them. You see, when we're doing good things, we have to talk about it. All right, give him a clap. I ain't seen no clap on the program. I ain't seen no love on the program. More love and more clap, and what it is. All right, well, yeah. The next thing that we have to tell all you about, we're getting straight into business tonight. You know, we're not wasting no time. It's Friday. Here what's going on. we have received information from the Met Office talking about the sort of dry season that we're having. Now, we have been getting some rain for the past few days, maybe for the past week now, consistently, every day we're getting water, lily lolo. However, according to the Met Office, drier than usual conditions continued in the month of February. They say that severely dry conditions, month's total, which was 6.9 millimeters versus the average of 35.2 millimeters. You don't see that? The total was 6.9 millimeters, and the average, they say, is 35.2. And crazy stuff. They say it persisted at Point Salines and most of Grenada's south, with the month's 3 wet days recorded within the last week. Elsewhere, nighttime precipitation helped to keep topsoil moist. In terms of the frequency of wet days, they are saying that the forecast March to May is for slightly fewer wet days than usual. Surface dryness is likely to increase until April, as fewer wet days will lead to greater evaporation potential surface dryness. Now, what they're saying, it is prudent to remind ourselves that it is unlawful and potentially dangerous to start bushfires without notifying your neighbors and the relevant authorities. In fact, the relevant authorities say no burning, zero, nada. You understand? So they even think about it. And even the Met Office is saying here that given the conditions that is likely to persist, then it will be dangerous to even try setting fires. We have forecast information from March to May 2019 in terms of a drought. Now, a drought warning should be considered, they say, for the entire state for a long-term drought until the end of May 2019, as a weak El Nino is expected to contribute to reduced rainfall. Based on data collected at Point Salines, the southernmost part of Grenada is under a meteorological drought. Hence, citizens must take measures to conserve and recycle water. Now, as it relates to precipitation, they say that below normal rainfall is likely to persist for this quarter, March to May. At Point Salines, this quarter's normal range is 70.7 to 110.1 millimeters. Regardless of the forecast, it is important to follow the daily public weather forecast to assist in the planning of activities. And on your screen, the light blue is the history of rainfall. The heavy blue is what's projected, what we have been experiencing so far. So even the graph shows you a clear indication of below average rainfall. How we looking? Oh yeah, the next thing that I want to tell all you about, boy, as we enter into the indie papers segment, I tell all you we ain't sticking tonight. Is Friday. We want all to go and get some chicken and make something on Wall Street. A young man from Gladstone Road, Grenville, brought before the Grenville Magistrate Court last Monday on a warrant for owing monies to the court, told the magistrate that his presence in the court was through mistaken identity. Folks, that's the first story that we're going to be telling you about on the indie paper segment. This one is from the Informer. Now, the court heard that the young man was Anil Antwine of Gladstone Road, while the person who should have been before the court was Anil Antwine of Telescope St. Andrew. Hold on all here. I don't take all the time. I don't even read the thing. I'm laughing. The young man, who could be in his mid-20s, told the court that he was picked up by the police on Victoria Street, Grenville, since Saturday on a warrant for owing the court $2,000. The warrant was never shown to him, says this, but he said he told the officers, I don't owe no court no $2,000. I owe the court $700, and the deadline for the payment had not yet expired. They say he had a 1 month to pay the fine or serve 3 months in prison for marijuana. Now he goes on to say he insisted that he repeatedly told the officers he owed $700 and had the money on him in his pocket to pay the business. However, he was still taken to the police station where he spent the entire weekend. Hold on, drink some coke. I don't all here, take all the time. Drink some coke. All right, good, let me go. The prosecutor told the court it was his understanding that Antoine was indeed picked up on a warrant, but the prosecution department was closed and therefore they were not able to verify the information. So the man still making night in weekend in his cell. However, the magistrate reminded the court that when persons are picked up on a warrant for owing court, once they have the required amount of money and are willing to make the payment instantly, they should not be apprehended but allowed to do so. The prosecutor was then told that they should verify the information, and if what the gentleman is saying is true, then he should be released. The apprehended man was also told that he could consult an attorney. Yo! Me drink some water in the program. What I'm saying is, those kind of technicalities, boy. Next thing, man going and break the internet with that kind of news. And next thing, the man turn out to be telling the truth, boy. Yeah, no. Anil, if it so happens that you viewing the program, please, Anil, I would like an update on the matter. Or the prosecutor in this case, please. Or the attorney who Anil hires, please. I would want to follow that business. Because I find that business real sounding juicy, boy. And that bid, next thing, just so Anil make a $50,000, you know. Anyway, let's leave that talk there. Olio, we are still in the... Olio, like that story? Olio, give us a clap. But that's not my story, Olio, give them a clap. Give Informer a clap. That one bad. That one juicy, boy. You never know thing could have nice, so, News could have nice, so sweet. Olio, let's get on to some serious business right now. Alright? We are still in the... I'll give the program a clap now. Why it is? Big up to the people on WPG. Olio, the next thing that I want to tell you about, boy, a 51-year-old businessman from the village of Lamore in St. Patrick netted in St. George's last Friday when a stop and search operation carried out by officers attached to the drug squad of the Royal Grenada Police Force uncovered a quantity of cocaine together with a firearm and ammunition in the vehicle in which he was traveling. He has been placed on bail. We're still in the papers, Informer. Chief Magistrate Tamara Gill, presiding at the number 1 Magistrate Court in St. George's on Monday, granted bail to the accused man, Andrew Roberts alias Lenny, in the sum of $200,000 with 2 sureties, after prosecution raised no objection to a request for bail on his behalf by defense counsel Ali Gill. Now, Roberts was slapped with 3 criminal charges, namely trafficking a controlled drug, cocaine, possession of a firearm, and possession of ammunition following the encounter with the police. In securing bail, Roberts must adhere to certain conditions, among them surrender all travel documents, report every Monday and Friday between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to the Soteres police station, and he must seek the court's permission in the event that he has to travel out of the state. According to information reaching the Grenada Informer, Robert, together with the vehicle he was driving, was taken into police custody last Friday night. Now, sources said he was driving towards the south of the island when the men in the uniform intercepted him. Informer was told that some 3 kilos of the banned drug cocaine were discovered hidden inside of his vehicle, together with a firearm and 15 rounds of ammunition. Inside sources told the Grenada Informer that lawmen are of the view that their action on Friday placed a serious dent on what they believe to be an active trade operation involving individuals from the north and south of the island. Informer also learned that Roberts' arrest came as no surprise to police, as he has been on their radar since he returned from London some 3 years ago. Now, according to the papers, he is due to make his second court appearance on July 8th, and according to the prosecution, all charges are indictable, and therefore, if convicted, Roberts faces a maximum $900,000 fine on the drug-related charges, imprisonment for 15 years, or both. Meanwhile, in a second raid on Friday, some 98 pounds of marijuana was seized in the village of Grand Mall in St. George's, and no one was arrested. However, sources told this newspaper that investigations into the matter are ongoing. Of course, we are in the papers segment, right? And those two articles came from the Grenada Informer. As we are moving on right now, we got to tell you about another major drug bust. We have received a confirmation about this from the police. All right, look at it. Oy, oy, oy. Watch thing. They say 3 St. Andrew residents have been jointly charged with trafficking in a controlled drug following a police operation on Thursday, 14th March 2019, during which 233 pounds of cannabis was seized. Leroy Williams, 53 years, construction worker; Lyndon Beggs, 30 years, mason; and Magdalena Beggs, 52 years, housekeeper, all residents of Sendell Street, Grenville, appeared at the Grenville Magistrates Court today, Friday, 15 March 2019. All 3 were granted bail in the sum of $40,000 each, with 2 sureties to appear in court on May 16. Now, as part of their bail conditions, they have been ordered to surrender all travel documents, seek permission from the court to leave the state, and report to the Grenville police station twice weekly. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? I'll do. We have a development in the case involving this gentleman on the screen. Now, a charge of causing death by dangerous driving has been laid against the police constable Joseph Felix in connection with the March 1st, 2019 death of Joseph Latouche of Williamson Road, St. George. Now, Latouche succumbed to injuries sustained as a result of a vehicular accident that occurred on January 19th, 2019. Folks, he was hospitalized and never recovered. Never recovered. Now, Felix was granted bail in the sum of $15,000 with 2 sureties. He will appear at the St. George's Magistrates Court on April 30th, 2019. Yeah, that was a tough one, man. Joseph was very popular in terms of in the sports arena. So many people have been speaking about him since he was in that accident. And his absence in the sporting arena is noticeable, given now that you have the secondary school games happening, and he's not there. Religiously, Joseph is going to be seen on the field, starting out the races or whatever it is, religiously, or handing out the placements tags. Yeah, I hope you guys remember who Joseph is. It's tough. It's really tough. All right, the next story that I have to tell you about, boy, let's just take a trip for a moment. Firefighters are doubling down on the demand that government address their long-standing grievances. Now, remember that this has to do with firefighters in St. Lucia. Remember this week we told you the men threatened that they were going to stay off the job, and stay off the job they did. and now they are meeting with officials. Now listen to this report.
St. Lucia Fire Service Association is continuing with strike action despite its earlier meeting with the Minister for Labour, Edmund Estefan. The Fire Service Association's chairman, Shane Felix, says though his members were pleased with the way the minister conducted the meeting, nothing has changed.
The minister seemed to understand. I think he does understand, more so that this has been happening for over 4 decades, you know. As much as we are in solidarity with the other unions for the condition of what's happening with salary negotiations, we are a bit unique, you know. The salary negotiations just really compounds our situation.
Friday's meeting, which was held at the CSA Center, was called to update the firefighters on the ongoing dispute with the government. Felix says his association is proceeding with the strike as the government has failed to provide the basic assurances his association is demanding.
We've gotten only a commitment from the minister to look into it, and so until we get more than that, what is the direction? What is going to happen? What are you putting in place to begin the process of dealing with those situations? That is when we will feel like something is being done, and then fire officers will begin to see the need to report in for duty and to feel like they're part of something that's going to make them feel comfortable enough and conducive enough at work to be able to continue providing the service that we are so dedicated to.
The government is said to be putting contingency plans in place in order to make up for the shortfall in staff resulting from the strike.
The Fire Service Association is not in a fight with the government of St. Lucia. We welcome the government of St. Lucia putting contingencies in place because we too are St. Lucians, and it means that the government understands the need for the fire service to respond to emergencies, and that tells you the importance of what it is that we do. So we welcome that. In the meantime, that doesn't mean that we would report in for duty, because our concerns have not been addressed.
The St. Lucia Fire Service is operating on skeletal staff as the rank and file of the service has responded overwhelmingly to the call for strike action. It will be a major test for the service as it is a time when the emergency services are in greater demand. The fire service plays a critical role not only in responding to emergencies, but crucially in the functioning of St. Lucia's airports. Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Force.
Thank you. Like HTS get a whole new staff. Boy, I'm hearing a set of names I never heard before. Well, if you guys are new, well, welcome. But I haven't heard from Rihanna. What's happening with Rihanna as well? All right. Anyway, so let's go on. Oh yeah. So the next thing that I want to tell you about, you gave me permission to suspend that story last night, and so we promised that we will bring that story to you tonight. It has to do with a senator's approach towards pedophiles. That is, persons who have sexual interest or sexual desires in children. The minister is taking a hardline approach by saying, the senator, by saying that chemical castration might be the best option. He thinks the nation needs a viable option to deter these people from that sort of behavior. He says putting them in jail is an added cost on the resources of the country.
What prompted you to make that suggestion?
But the whole issue of the child sexual molestation and even that occurs in Trinidad and Tobago, it's really a major epidemic I think we have. And we knew about the problem years ago. There studies have been done, and we have seen the Children's Authority give horrendous figures. So we have that situation existing, and as legislators, we have to do something to, somehow get that system, a bit, something has to be working better, because we've seen children suffering. And a rape of an adult is a horrendous act, and some of those rape victims never even recover. They always have this post-traumatic stress. And imagine a child being raped, and continuously sometimes in their homes. It's a horrendous issue, psychological factor. So we have to protect these little ones. So when you're looking at the legislation and you see what it involves, if you're looking at trying to see, you're going to get someone, you're convicting this person, and there's a very, very small conviction rate. So speaking about castration and punishing these individuals, we have to realize there's about a 2% percent conviction rate. I think the last set of cases they had, they looked at the conviction. It's low, very low. So it's a low amount of those persons, a very small amount of those persons you're getting into the system. You might be getting those persons now, in the judicial system, and you now have to say, what do we do with these persons? Now, two factors. You can incarcerate them. But the cost of incarcerating, if you look at the system and the figures that comes out, it's around, sometimes the figures is like around 220 million, I think it was quoted as 50 million, a month to keep it up to around 2,000 prisoners incarcerated. So that's a huge figure. So we have to look at what is the benefit that you get with keeping somebody in prison or either putting them out in the community. Now, two things. The cost factor is one. The taxpayers could be saved money. But two, let's see how we go to protect that child. If this individual serves a prison term, and let's say you're going to put that individual out even, you have to now ensure that that individual will not go on reoffend. There are cases where pedophiles sometimes are resistant to treatment. You do some sort of psychotherapy on these individuals, but their minds are such that they may go back and they will reoffend. And if you find you have that occurring, you have to see what is there available to us to be able to curb that. And incarceration helps get them away from the victim, but all our victims and future victims, but also how do we cut that sex drive? How do we cut that urge for them not to go and interfere with other persons? And in that case, the chemical castration is an option.
What prompts?
So he's saying that he has put up a really interesting case. Yeah, some may say that this is somewhat draconian, but as he believes, it's a viable option. All right, what say you? Do you support or are you against? All right, folks, how are we looking for time? I think it's Naomi's birthday tonight, birthday. So if it is, I would like to say happy birthday to you, Naomi, and may God richly bless you. You have been a good person to the program, and so we want the program to be good to you on this, your special day. On my trip to St. Lucia about 2 months ago, I met with a media official who spoke of his role in the Grenada Revolution. Now, he detailed how he was flown from St. Lucia to Grenada to do what he did. Now, St. Lucia's role and participation in the Grenada Revolution has not been well documented, though St. Lucians played a key role during the reign of the short-lived Maurice Bishop administration. Now, Grenada has just observed its 40th anniversary of the revolution, and in this report, we want to highlight persons from St. Lucia who say that they played a role in our revolution.
The Caribbean nation of Grenada is observing the 40th anniversary of its revolution that sent shockwaves throughout the Caribbean and the world. But 3 years following the Maurice Bishop-led coup d'etat, the administration imploded and the Americans, with the support of some Caribbean islands, seized the opportunity and marched in. St. Lucia was one of the participating Caribbean islands. Augustine Fragis Matre, now a retired police officer, was one of the 20 St. Lucians selected for battle alongside the U.S. forces.
We were called by the Commissioner of Police, that at that time was Mr. Cuthbert Phillips. Then we were at the time attached to the SSU department. They said that then they needed men to assist in the Grenada, freedom in Grenada, when the Americans were going to invade Grenada, and they needed policemen to do peacekeeping. So the volunteers, well, myself, they needed 20 volunteers, 20 men volunteers from each of the Caribbean islands.
Members of the St. Lucian contingent distinguished themselves at the preparatory training in Barbados for their marksmanship and other military skills. Consequently, they were selected ahead of the other Caribbean policemen for special roles.
We found that the St. Lucians were very knowledgeable in the weapon, so they selected us and some of the other Caribbean countries to assist.
Anthony James, who is also a retired St. Lucian policeman, was selected to head to Grenada for battle alongside the Americans.
We went there during the invasion. It was to free Grenada from this Marxist movement, the Grenada Revolution, to free the people of Grenada.
The battle for Grenada was on, with the Grenadians and the Cubans on one side, and the United States and the supporting Caribbean cast on the other.
Well, it was very tense because there was heavy fighting for the first 3 days in Grenada within the Americans and the Grenadian and the Cuban soldiers. For the first 3 days, when we left Barbados, whilst we were en route to Grenada, the information received was that we will not be able, the aircraft would not be able to taxi in and for us to unload our equipment and our equipment and stores. So we would have to offload these things whilst the aircraft would be still taxiing on the runway. So at that time we had to be running in and out of the aircraft, picking up our stuff and putting it, because there were heavy fighting, bombing on the airport. So then the footman on the aircraft would indicate to the pilot that everything was offloaded and the pilot would just take off one time.
Though at the center of the war, Frages Matra did not see action for too long. On the 3rd day, he was shot in the leg and had to be flown back to St. Lucia.
I did not spend it long. I did not stay long because I got injured on the 4th day. But we cannot remember what month it was directly. But on the 4th day while we were there, I got injured and had to be flown back.
St. Lucians were on both sides of the divide. A number of technocrats and other workers had migrated to Grenada to assist the Morris Bishop administration, while 20 policemen were fighting to bring an end to this intriguing epoch in Caribbean history. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
Oh, thank you very much. Some people say they never knew that St. Lucia had any role in the invasion or anything to do with the Grenada Revolution. Well, at least you found out that tonight. Folks, what we're going to do right now is we are going to take a quick break and come back. When we do, we've got the National Report.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the tongue. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada for the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the gas. They can't get in your section, get in your direction, get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
The Ring Promotions presents Proceed, the reunion. Grenada, this is it. Wednesday, April 24th, and it's going down aboard the Ramada 2. Wednesday leading into the Easter weekend.
Tell me, baby, are you done talking?
It's a reunion of mind, spirit, friends, and music, featuring today's hottest DJs in the mix, playing the biggest hits from the 90s. Versus present day hits. Ladies,
Get your early bird $35 tickets now. Plus, you can bring a 375 ml plastic bottle drink or less on board. General admission $45. Get your tickets now from Charlie's Bar and Pierre's Barbershop Victoria, the Natural Punch Shop and Heather's Boutique in St. George's. Boarding time 7 p.m. Boat sales at 8 p.m. sharp. Pepper Seed, the reunion, Wednesday, April 24th.
Have you always wanted to get your health checked? What's been the holdup? Time? Money? Or waiting to actually be sick? Well, the Rotary Club of Grenada, in collaboration with the International Federation of Medical Students Association, invites you, the general public, to come on out to our Health Day this Saturday, 16th March 2019, at the Monrouge Playing Field from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on out to receive free, yes, free testing for diabetes, hypertension, vision and hearing, HIV testing, basic children examination, and much more. No more excuses. Make it an occasion for you and your entire family.
Alrighty then, thank you very much. And folks, it is now time for the National Report.
MOU signed between TAMCC and GHTA could mean more Grenadians will fill specialized positions in the hospitality industry. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report for Friday, March 15, 2019, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. The Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the T.A. Marisho Community College that will help to produce well-trained students who can fill the gaps in the hospitality industry. Every year, as many as 100 hospitality students graduate from the T.A. Marisho Community College, and according to former GHTA President Russ Fielding, the intention is to bring them to the level where Grenada does not have to import labor in some of the specialized hospitality areas. The MOU was signed between both parties on Thursday.
In terms of restaurant staff, it's fairly easy. You need supervision. You need good servers. In the kitchen, there's always a gap, and that's one of the areas we hope to fulfill. One of the problems we have in Grenada, that we don't have any executive chefs, or very, very few that are available. And what we need to do is develop our chefs that come out from here so that they can aspire to being executive chefs or head cooks in kitchens. We have excellent cooks coming out, but we need to develop the skills to be able to become executive chefs. TAMCC probably hasn't got the ability to do that currently, but you have to lay the foundation for those students so they can go abroad and study to be executive chefs and managerial staff. I mean, management is always a problem, and that is a gap that we're seeing, and that is a gap that we're hoping to be able to fill.
The T.A. Marisho Community College and the GHTA have a relationship spanning decades, which was formalized by Thursday's signing. Mark Kitchen, who represented the GHTA, gave their commitment to ensuring the partnership is a success.
Majority of hotels here in Grenada have had past experience with TAMCC, and today's signing ceremony is really about formalising that agreement and really laying out that plan that was just spoken about in terms of moving forward. We're very, very excited to work closer with the faculty here at TAMCC, and we're extremely excited about working together with the students, both during their practical experiences and of course being able to provide full-time employment for them once they've graduated here from this great facility.
Acting Principal of the T.A. Marisho Community College, David Fleming, spoke to the positive impact the agreement will bring to Grenada and the tourism industry.
The gains from this, we expect, would transcend the acquisition of knowledge and performance competencies of our students to them becoming world-class hospitality and tourism workers that would fit the high-end position at our hotels in Grenada and hotels throughout the region and the world over.
The Grenada National Patient Kidney Foundation and the Ministry of Health are concerned about the increase in kidney diseases on island. The foundation reports an increase in chronic kidney diseases from 2018. This was revealed on Thursday by the foundation during a public forum. The forum was held to educate the public on treatments available, services and support offered, and ways to prevent the disease. There are already 18 individuals undergoing treatment at the General Hospital.
In Grenada, similar estimates, like I said, in 2018 there were 15 persons receiving dialysis and another 30 plus patients attending the renal clinic, which is set up at the hospital, the General Hospital. An estimated 20 more plus Grenadians all living outside. That's only what we know. 20 plus patients living outside of Grenada that are receiving dialysis and usually come back and forth to visit, and they receive their treatment at our clinic. And for 2019, we have already gone as far as 19 patients. So we have jumped from 15 to 19, and I want to let you know that that happened within the space of 3 months.
Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh, highlighted the support offered by the Government of Grenada to the hospital for kidney patients.
The Government of Grenada provides financial assistance to all patients with financial difficulty receiving dialysis through the Grenada Patient Kidney Foundation. May not be the best, may not be a lot, but it's assistance. And we're always saying, how do we work towards more? Peritoneal dialysis services are offered at the General Hospital under the guidance of Dr. Bristol. And she will talk about the numbers that are going up and how we can try to support in moving towards that. Medications provided at the General Hospital Pharmacy at concessional rates. So it's at a lower rate because the medication prices can be off the wall. And we don't want to be, and I can tell you this from here, I'm starting October 1st, so I can't tell you all through the years. But we don't want it to be that you're not taking the medication because you can't afford it. That you have to have some assistance in that.
This is a national report. More news after the break.
Last time, we entertained and thrilled you with song, comedy, drama, music, and dance. In 2019, we are back to light up your night as the RGPF Women's Arm presents Shine 2. A showcase of talent from our law enforcement women at the Grenada Trade Center on Saturday, March 16 from 7 p.m. Tickets are $40 in advance, more at the door. Tickets available from members of the RGPF Women's Arm and regular box offices across the island. Shine 2. Come listen to the amazing voices. Laugh your socks off with comedy at its best. A night that will leave you inspired emotionally and gratified. So, let's make it a day. Saturday, March 16th at the Grenada Trade Center as we, the RGPF Women's Arm, presents Shine 2.
Welcome back. Officers in the government service should endeavor to impact the system in a positive way, leaving a legacy of continuous improvement. This takes character and a consistent stance for efficiency and productivity. That was the advice from Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Planning, Physical and Economic Development, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, when he met with the staff of the Central Procurement Unit recently as part of an ongoing finance staff engagement initiative. The procurement unit is mandated to facilitate the disposal of government assets, assist state-owned enterprises, government ministries and departments to align their legislative processes to reduce wastage and ensure government gets the best value for money. The unit is also in the process of developing broader purchasing agreements with the private sector and the general public to save money and improve the doing business process. Over the last year, the Ministry of Finance has made several changes to the unit to ensure that it is equipped to effectively carry out its mandate. The new construct has been highly commended by the World Bank as a model for the region. Among the decisions that are having a direct impact on the performance of the unit and the consequent positive impact on government coffers are the greater integration of ICT into the procurement process, policies to reduce the time taken to implement projects, the introduction of sustainable procurement practices, continuous staff training and capacity building exercises. And finally, Agriculture and Lands Minister says job well done to the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, on its many successes throughout the sector in 2018. Minister Yolan Bain-Horsford shared the commendations during ICA's accountability seminar on Thursday. Training, research and internship programs, technical assistance, yellow-resistant plants all form part of the corporation's success story of 2018. According to Minister Bain-Horsford, Grenada's sector will not have been as productive without ICA's assistance.
ICA and Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, have collaborated on an initiative to improve the capacity of members for 4 rural producer groups. This initiative provided training in the areas of financial accountability, management and effective communication for producer groups, in an effort to augment the actions taken by the ministry to combat the dreaded citrus greening disease. We turned again to ICA for support. ICA Grenada brought in technical assistance from Jamaica, where there is a citrus certification program in place, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where a program is being developed.
She advised the corporation against becoming complacent in its efforts to continue giving support to the farmers and, by extension, the agriculture sector in 2019.
ICA, in a time of lower budgets and the challenge of doing more with less, has performed admirably, and I must reiterate my appreciation for the support. I, however, must caution Mr. Charles and the ICA office that they cannot let complacency ruin their efforts, as the sector is deserving of greater support. Therefore, we must deepen our collaboration to achieve even greater successes in the coming year.
This brings us to the end of the national report. Recapping the top story, MOU signed between TAMCC and GHTA could mean more Grenadians will fill specialized positions in the hospitality industry. I am Sherry-Ann Noel. Thank you for viewing.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Sherry-Ann, and that brings to an end the national report. And at this time, we are going to take a look at the weather. We have had just a little drizzle today, but let's see what it will look like for tonight. Well, precipitation according to this 0%, but we also have specific details coming from the Met Office. Let me just see if I can pull up that. It's just taking a while to load. All right, let's see what we get here. I'm sorry, but it's just taking a few seconds to load. Anyway, so probably we'll just go with what we have for now, okay? So the precipitation 0%, humidity 79%, wind 18 kilometers per hour. Okay, yeah, still it's just taking just a little longer than it's supposed to load some more details with regard to the weather. So okay, here we go. All right, so the actual report coming from the Met Office says that the minimum temperature will be about 23 degrees Celsius tonight. All right, and it also says that the weather is expected to be mostly fair. All right, and we expect some light to moderate rain into the night. That's according to the actual report from the Met Office. In terms of what tomorrow, God's willing, is going to look like, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a medium chance of some light morning showers, fewer showers by afternoon. Maximum temperature is expected to be about 29.5 degrees Celsius and minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. All right. Sun is expected to rise at 6:15 and set at 6:19. And as it relates to the weather for Sunday, it is expected to be mostly fair with a low chance of a few brief showers by evening. Maximum temperature on Sunday is expected to be 31 degrees Celsius, minimum 24.5 degrees Celsius. Wind east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. And that's your weather report for the weekend. All right, and just before we go, let us just briefly say hi to all the people who are currently viewing on WPG10. Your names we can't get, but if you want to send us a message at 414-9995, we'll be able to say hi to you as well. Just a minute before we go, we want to say hi to Noreen. Happy birthday again to Naomi. Hi to Nika, Rose, my mom, Esther, Clotilda, Lisa, Suzette, Angel, Kireen, and Anne. Also, we have Hazel with us now. We have Jade with us as well. We have Daria. We have Anna. I find Naomi just come for us to say happy birthday, right at the end. We have Josephine to say hi to, and Kathleen to say hi to as well. We have Raul to say hi to, and Eunice. Hello to you, Eunice, and everyone else, man, who is currently tuned into Mikey Live, Crispin, and everyone else. I would like to say thank you for viewing. Jade as well, we see that you're here, and Patsy. Folks, don't forget to check out our website for more news. That's MikeyLive.com. all right, that's Mikey, M-I-K-E-Y, live.com. More news, and as well all past programs you can find there as well. If you missed a program, you can check out our website for that. That's MikeyLive.com. Cynthia, thanks for viewing as well. Folks, let's do this. Have a great weekend. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say Ja. No. Good night, Jay. Good night, everyone. God bless you.